attend in-person meetings in council chambers. Public access is also available by telephone by using the call-in numbers posted on the meeting agenda, and tonight's meeting will be broadcast on the city's YouTube channel online. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Leidy will be absent. Mayor Pro Tem Lukeman Hiromasa.
Here.
Councilmember Burns. Here. Councilmember Severs.
Here.
Councilmember Kondo.
Here.
Councilmember Roper.
Here.
Councilmember Goff.
Here.
Councilmember Nowicki will be absent. Councilmember Leidy.
Here.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Deputy City Manager Loveland, are there any responses to resident inquiries tonight?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem. There are not. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Good, great. Moving into public invited to be heard. This is an opportunity for public comment on any item not set for public hearing. Statements are limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Statements must be related to city business and limited to matters of community interest. Deputy City Clerk Andrews, welcome. Is there anyone signed up to speak to council tonight?
No, no one signed up this evening.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone on the phone? You may press *6. It is quiet tonight. Is there anyone in the audience who did not have a chance to sign up tonight and would like to speak to council? If so, please come forward, state your name, address, or ward. Wonderful. Okay, moving into proclamations. We do have one tonight. And originally we had North Metro Moms Demand Action Colorado chapter. They did request this proclamation and they are unable to attend the meeting tonight. But we do have a council member that stepped forward and would like to say a few words. So we will read the proclamation downstairs. Please join me.
Okay. Come on,
Okay. Whereas every person deserves to live in a community where they feel safe in their homes, schools, workplaces, places of worship, and public spaces. And whereas gun violence impacts individuals, families, and communities across the United States and has lasting emotional, physical, and economic effects. And whereas National Gun Violence Awareness Day honors the lives of those lost to gun violence, supports survivors and affected families, and raises awareness about the importance of preventing firearm-related tragedies. And whereas communities throughout the nation recognize the importance of promoting education, responsible firearm ownership, safe firearm storage practices, mental health awareness, conflict de-escalation, and collaborative violence prevention efforts. And whereas the City of Northglenn values the safety and well-being of all residents and recognizes the importance of community partnerships, public engagement, and respectful dialogue in fostering safer neighborhoods. And whereas National Gun Violence Awareness Day serves as an opportunity to remember victims, support survivors, and encourage continued efforts to reduce violence and strengthen community safety for future generations. Now, therefore, I, Shannon Lukeman Hiromasa, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Northglenn, Colorado, hereby proclaim June 5th, 2026 as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the City of Northglenn, and encourage residents to honor the memory of those impacted by gun violence, support survivors and their families, and work together to promote safe, healthy, and connected communities. Dated at Northglenn, Colorado, this 18th day of May 2026. And we do have Councilmember Leidy who would like to say a few words. Thank you.
Okay, hi. So today I would like to honor the memory of a dear friend whose life was taken by gun violence at what should have been a joyful family gathering. Sorry. A moment meant for celebration, laughter, and new beginnings. Instead, it became a heartbreaking reminder of how deeply gun violence continues to affect our communities. As a Jeffco educator, we also remember students like Matthew Silverstone, the Evergreen High School shooting survivor, who courageously walked the stage and received a standing ovation at graduation after surviving the unimaginable. His strength and the loss of so many others remind us that gun violence does not end when the news fades. It stays with families, friends, and entire communities forever. Today we stand for awareness, remembrance, and for change, honoring every student and family affected by gun violence and demanding a future where no life is cut short by senseless violence. Thank you.
It's hard to clap. Thank you so much for those words. You can come take a picture. Great. I am excited for this next presentation. We have the Northglenn High School Time Capsule Art Competition, and Director of Parks, Recreation, and Culture, Amanda Peterson, will introduce this item. Welcome, Director Peterson.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. In 1976, a time capsule was buried at Eleanor M. Wyatt Centennial Park, and we were left with instructions to dig it up, add items to it, and rebury it on Colorado Day of 2026. Students were involved in the original time capsule project, and we wanted to continue that tradition this year. So as a part of our sesquicentennial celebration, we asked Northglenn High School students to create an art piece, with the winning piece to be added to the time capsule. Following the presentation of our winner this evening, we will ask council to come back off the dais, if you don't mind, to take a photo with her. But at this point, I would like to turn things over to Michael Stricker to share more about the contest and our winner.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council. Thank you for having us here tonight. Just wanted to provide, again, a little reminder of context for how we got to this point. So we do have a bunch of special guests that I'll bring up here in just a moment. But as Amanda had said, as you know, we are celebrating the sesquicentennial this year, marking the 250th anniversary of the United States and the 150th anniversary of Colorado's entrance into the Union. We are holding this celebration August 1st at 10 a.m. at Eleanor M. Wyatt Centennial Park and Sculpture Garden, located on Kennedy Drive behind Prost Brewing. When the park was being developed and dedicated as Centennial Park, the planning was led by the then Northglenn Centennial Bicentennial Committee. The park was part of the Greening of the Glen initiative supported by the Colorado Arts and Humanities Council and Colorado Centennial Bicentennial Commission. The Centennial Park dedication included a concrete Liberty Bell, American flag, plaques, irrigation, planting of trees, demonstration gardens, and a time capsule. The capsule was installed November 11th, 1976, and instructions were very specific about Colorado Day of 2026. We were instructed to unveil those contents on August 1st. So a committee made up of residents and members of Northglenn boards and commissions and city council and others will begin meeting on Wednesday to talk about the event and the time capsule. The committee will be helping plan the August 1st event, work as the main steering committee for the redesign of the park, and help determine what goes in the time capsule. In 1976, one of the city's main partners was Northglenn High School. I'm happy to say that they are once again one of our main partners this year. They have already committed to providing support for the August 1st event with the inclusion of the marching band, pom-poms, and the chamber choir. The partnership also created the opportunity for students to participate more directly with the time capsule. So we have both P-TECH coordinator Todd Korn and STEM coordinator Allison Doppler here tonight from Northglenn High School. I'd like to invite Todd to come up and talk and give us some context for the competition.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem. I haven't been here in a while, so this is exciting. I first want to say thank you to Michael Striger for reaching out to us about this opportunity for our students. So that was really exciting. So what we did was we came with some constraints of the project to provide to our students where they could produce kind of anything they wanted to that would fit those constraints. Provided that to all of our students at Northglenn High School, and our art tech classes kind of really jumped at that opportunity. We had, I believe, 18 entries into our competition. We had then these entries were in the hallway. Any student could vote, and they could multiple times. And through that, we came out with a winner. So I have the winner here, but I would like our student designer here, Jade Rios, to come up here and unveil the winning piece of art. So I'll let you do the work here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my hope for the future in 50 years. Essentially, I just want it to be more like have like cleaner air, cleaner earth. I just want it to be happy and like almost like silly, because that's how I want the future to be. Just like everyone to have fun and have fun around the streets with like clean cities. You know, that's all I really want to talk about. Yeah, like earth pollution. All that gone.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Wow, what an honor. Wonderful. Does council have any
Yeah, let's do
remarks for it?
Okay.
We'd love to invite City Council to come down and take a picture, if that's okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we can go up to the dais.
Sure. Absolutely.
Working on it. Todd, there we go. All right, ready? Thank you.
Can I, yes, please. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're hoping Jade comes back in 2076 to see her artwork.
She'll still be young enough. One more round of applause for Jade. What an honor. Thank you so much for that presentation, and good job, Mom. I'm sure you're very proud of your daughter. Nice work. Moving into communications, we will go ahead and start with Ward 1 and Councilmember Leidy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. That's a mouthful. I like it. If we added your full last name, that would be really intense. Thank you so much. I just want to reiterate. Oh, wait, they didn't leave. Okay, that was amazing. Great job. Like, as soon as you said colored pencil, I was like, what? That's the detail. Amazing. Congratulations. That's so awesome. So I wanted to add that. And then this weekend we had really awesome events. We had the food truck carnival, which you can still see remnants of, and then the native plant giveaway that happened in Ward 1. That was really awesome. A lot of plants were given away. I'm not sure what the exact number was, but it was really awesome. And a lot of my neighbors, you could see them just walking through the neighborhood with their plants. So that was really cool to see. Other than that, that is all I have to say. I kind of gave the rest of my communication away earlier. So thank you.
Thank you, and it was a short week, so Councilmember Burns.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, congratulations again to our award, our winner. I love the focus on clean air and environment. Climate anxiety is a real thing facing young folks. And thank you so much to my ward mate and Mayor Pro Tem about the proclamation this evening. Firearms is the leading killer for teens and young people. So just a solemn reminder, kind of all feeds in together tonight. And thank you so much to staff for the food truck carnival this weekend and everything. It wasn't in the cards for me and my toddlers, but I'm happy it happened. And I would also just like to say, and I also had the Youth and Family Commission for NLC. We were focusing on mental health and how to share ideas around how municipalities can fund various mental health initiatives through state, county, federal levels. I will report back when they have ideas. And then I would also like to express my disappointment in the governor's decision to grant clemency to Tina Peters. We have some of the best election security in this state, and mail-in voting is so important to our culture here and democracy, and it's just a real bummer. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Severs.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. Thanks for coming out. On Thursday, May 14th, I attended the Aspendale Northglenn ribbon cutting grand opening. I did not make it in time for the ceremonial ribbon cutting, but I did do so. It was better because I just hung out with some residents. Some residents have lived here before. Some people have family that live in the area. And then some people are new to the community. So I just got to meet a bunch of people. They're about 35% occupant. They're filled up about 35%. So long way to go, but it's a big, beautiful place. So I'm sure they'll have no hard time doing that. Also, I'd like to piggyback on Councilmember Burns and thank staff for the food truck carnival, including the police department. I'm sure city manager's probably taking a day off because of it. But I'll just say this, I did make it Saturday. I was there for most of Saturday. And I kind of, as you do go to big festivals or big groupings, you kind of people watch sometimes. And I just found myself looking around and seeing how many people were just smiling, having a great time, just families, spouses. It was kind of touching. So I just want to thank all the bands and food trucks and all the musicians and whatever, it was a great time. This Wednesday, we have the first meeting of the Sesquicentennial Committee, so that'll be fun. And then on Thursday, May 21st, once again, Public Works has an open house at the water treatment facility from 4 to 7. If you didn't get enough of food trucks, there'll be a food truck there, I heard. So if you're looking for more food truck action, that's where it's at. But yeah, like I said, good chance to meet some of the Public Works people. And then, with the gun violence proclamation, there's been 150 of mass shootings this year. At this time last year, we were at 112. So I think my entire life, I feel like all I've heard about is mass shootings. It didn't used to be that way. I know there are some people in the room that have seen some of them firsthand, And, it's just really sad. So anything we can do to make that better, I would always be in support of. Lastly, 42 days to the primary election and 126 days to the general election. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Goff.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. A couple of things I have to report on. On May 14th, I did with the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, I did a tour of parks in the city. So we got to see some of the design plans. They've been around a while, but we got to discuss the plans for Odellberry Park. We visited Scott Park, which is totally undeveloped, and had some sort of brainstorm some ideas about what might happen there in the future. And we also looked at the improvements over here at E.B. Raines Park and got to get behind the fences and see what's going on there. So when it's taking longer than anybody ever expected it would, but it's going to be well worth the wait when it's finally done. The other thing I would say is at the Parks and Rec meeting, the People's Powwow came to make a request of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board to waive some of their fees, which the board did vote to do that. And they also, like one of them was the sound request and all that. But as part of their powwow this year, they are going to do an Iwo Jima reenactment. So there will be blank rounds, going off or whatever. So that was part of what they were putting in the sound request for, just to kind of let people know it could be exciting. And then, of course, attended the food truck carnival. The taiko drumming is always amazing, and it was really fun to see kids and parents and, mostly kids, but people dancing to that and, really enjoying the music. And then this morning, I met with the Northglenn Senior Organization, and as we discussed, what was going on with the city, they raised some concerns about parking. And as I explained, the parking lot, the temporary parking lot that's being finalized, the plans are being finalized for that. It should be starting, I think I heard, in August. And there were requests for, with that parking being added, additional parking spaces being added, could we somehow do more senior or handicap ADA accessible parking, closer to the building? So, we'll have to, I said I would look into that and get back to them. We'll see. And we also discussed the drought restrictions, and, they had a lot of concerns around those as well. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Kondo.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. Yeah, I think I might need a cough drop, actually. I'll just pile on the comments about the food truck carnival. I want to thank the staff. I want to thank the Northglenn Community Foundation. Thank you. I appreciate that, Joni. That is, the food truck carnival is actually a major fundraising event for the Community Foundation. So I had the honor and privilege of checking IDs and selling liquor tokens to a number of folks, both on Friday and Sunday. And I will tell you that what impresses me most, and I know that you commented about how happy people are, is just the number of people that come from all over Colorado as well as from out of state to attend this event. And so it brought me a lot of personal pride and joy for the city, especially knowing that the food truck carnival continues, for one thing, and second of all, that it really presents an opportunity for people to come together and really get the summer season started off on the right foot. So thank you again, staff. Really appreciate that. And I know the police department was there, and as well as North Metro Fire. I want to acknowledge them as well, stations 62 and 63, sending apparatus and staff to help with that. Next is, I would like to give a shout out to a member of our community. Her name is Chase. I saw her yesterday while I was walking my dog. It sounds like you know her, Dr. Guff. Oh, she was? Okay, very good. Well, she was picking up a lot of trash and detritus and stuff like that along the Grant Ditch Park, part of the Greenway Trail system. And it actually, there's a sign that says this park is being maintained and cleaned by Chase. I'm not going to pronounce her last name. I think I would botch it. But I did walk up to her and thank her personally for really spending the time, her personal time and effort to help keep our trails and parks clean. It was really quite admirable to see people that are out there that really care. I'm wearing this hat today because on Saturday I did a day-long sojourn to a place called Granada, Colorado. For those of you who are not aware, and this is AANHPA month, in World War II, over 110 up towards 120,000 Japanese Americans were interned in 10 different relocation camps throughout the western and also southeast United States. This was my first visit to Amachi, and at that camp, about 10.3 thousand or 10,000 Japanese Americans were interned over the course of the 3.5 years that those camps were open. It was very sobering. I think the other thing that was really, for me, that gave me a sense of hope is that the local high school there, the Granada High School, has a group of volunteers that maintain the cemetery as well as the campgrounds and are the main force behind that relocation camp becoming first a national monument and now most recently a national park. So I wanted to just kind of spotlight that because I think it's important for us to realize that you know, what is going on in the current days and events are things that are just repeating itself. And I just want to make sure that we continue to learn from history so that we don't repeat mistakes again. Lastly, as a Thornton High School grad, I am happy to announce that tomorrow is going to be the groundbreaking. It may be more mudslinging than groundbreaking, given all of our rain here, but that's going to happen at 1 o'clock tomorrow at Thornton High School. And I know I get no end to the grief for being a Thornton High School graduate while being a Northglenn council member. But if there are any individuals that are interested, Chris Godowski, our superintendent, has extended an invite for all members of the days to attend. Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Councilmember Roper.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. A lot of the things I was going to say have already been covered. However, I think with our proclamation and just the way the world is now, it is important to acknowledge the impact that gun violence has in almost every part of our lives. I think just today we had a notification that Erie Middle School was put on a lockdown because of a alleged threat, shooting, and bomb, which then again, that puts the burden on the police department to bring drones and K-9 and do all the things while our kids are locked down in their classroom, not learning. So I think it's a tough time, I think, also to be a young person, and no wonder their anxiety is quite high right now. So there's that. So definitely that weighs on me, and that, you know, teachers are spending a lot of their day trying to figure out how to get their students safely to the end of the day instead of trying to teach them math or English. And with that, school will be out in 3 days. And so be aware and alert in your neighborhoods. There'll be more children out and about. And they're just that. They're children with their prefrontal cortex not developed. So they are not always looking for you. So just keep an eye out that they are in their own little world, but just keep an eye out for those extra young people. That's all. That's all.
Thank you, and I want to thank everybody for all the words that were said about the gun proclamation. You know, it's really difficult to think of what our kids have to feel every day when they go to school, and teachers feeling responsible for protecting our students, and having to have police constantly and SROs there to protect our kids as well. So it is very eye-opening. So I want to say I just appreciate all the words, and Councilmember Leidy for your words as well. It's just sad. I think about my grandkids too in the public school system. So we have to keep doing all we can to keep our kids safe. Into communications, since we did have communications last week, I don't have that much, which is really nice. I usually have a ton. So I'll just give a quick brief. I attended the police pension board meeting last week. Nothing to report there. Everything looks good on that end. NURA had a meeting last week as well. And we discussed the 104th sub-area plan concepts and opportunities, which we have all had that presentation. So it was kind of interesting to hear Nura's take on that, which I think they're pretty much in alignment with the discussions that we've had before, which is a good thing, of course. And as we know, there will definitely be more discussions surrounding that sub-area plan as well. We did approve a big grant to Carrie's Gifts and Goodies, which is also known as Mountain Man Fruit and Nut. They're going to have some new signage on their door, so hopefully that'll, really make them pop out a little bit in the marketplace. And then we did have a couple of executive sessions, which of course I will not say details on that, but regarding Washington Center, which we know was just purchased, so that's very exciting. And then also Nura owns the property at 112th and Irma, so we did have a discussion on that as well as potential uses for that, and that's all I'll leave it at. Then let me see. I did attend the Peace Officers Memorial Day and National Police Week flower planting at EB Rains, so that was really amazing to see the community come together, and Jenna does a really good job of that, and of course, there was a few words said in honor of EB Rains and Detective Paul Jacey as well by our chief. So very, very touching. And, if you want to go and visit the memorial and look at the flower beds, I did plant a couple. I don't know if they survived, but I tried. And then last but not least, I also went to the food truck carnival, and two of the happiest people in the world were my grandkids. And they are now 4 and 6, so it's kind of a fun age to be able to take them on the little rides they can do by themselves, the little cars. I was thoroughly impressed with how many fun rides there were for that age group, and actually really happy as a grandma to be able to take them to that. So staff did a great job, as always. And as was mentioned, thank you to our police department for keeping us safe. But it's just a really cool event. We had some rain, and it popped right back up and went on as planned and until the end. So that's all I have to say. Let's see, Deputy City Manager Loveland, do you have anything for us tonight?
No updates from me, thank you.
Okay. And welcome, Deputy City Clerk. We never get to see you. Lisa Andrews, who is here. Do you have anything for us tonight? Thank you. And last but not least, City Attorney Hoffman.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Pro Tem, members of council. I'll make it a trifecta. Nothing for me either.
Nothing. Okay. And just for everybody's knowledge, the mayor and our city manager are at a very big conference. I will say it wrong, but it is a conference that's designed to maybe look at bringing different businesses to our city and so forth. So that's why they are not here tonight. Great. Nothing else, so we will move into the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Please open the vote. Please vote. Thank you. Moving into resolutions, we have CR 80. Will the clerk please read the title? A resolution approving a professional services agreement between the City of Northglenn and REG Planning and Design Incorporated for professional design services for Eleanor M. White Centennial Park and Sculpture Garden.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Thank you. And we have Director of Parks, Recreation, and Culture, Amanda Peterson. Welcome back. Looks like you will be here for all of the resolutions.
I think so. Good evening again, Mayor, Pro Tem, and Council. The resolution before you for consideration would authorize a contract with RDG for the design of future improvements at Eleanor M. Wyatt Centennial Park. You're hearing a lot about that park this year. We This contract is in the amount of $125,450 with a 15% contingency and is partially funded with a grant from Adams County Open Space. We have established a timeline for this project to allow for a copy of that conceptual design to be included in the time capsule as a part of our Sesquicentennial celebration. If you have any questions about the contract, I'd be happy to answer those.
Does not look like we have any questions, so I'm sure we're all excited to see those designs. I know I am. Is there any timeline as to when we get a chance to preview those designs?
There is. We are utilizing our committee that Michael talked about just earlier this evening. So their first meeting is Wednesday, and we do have some other public outreach opportunities beyond the committee, as well as with City Council built into that timeline, I believe in July.
Very exciting. I do not see any hands up, so we can vote. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
I'll close that vote, and it passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving into CR 81, will the clerk please read the title?
A resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Northglenn and Adams 12 five-star schools for access to and maintenance of J.D. Caton Park.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Seconded.
Great. We have Amanda Peterson back. Or still.
Good evening again. This resolution would approve an IGA with Adams 12 five-star schools for the school district property at J.D. Caton Park, which is located adjacent to Hillcrest Elementary. Historically, the city has maintained this property. It looks like a city park, but it's actually city or school district owned. We had entered into a partnership with them many years ago, at which point we were sharing costs of development of some of our park spaces and have continued to maintain that space ever since. As a part of the bond initiative, their playground is being replaced and it's extending into an area that we formerly maintain. So this is actually shrinking that maintenance area just a bit. The school district will take on responsibility for that new playground and as you can see in the attachment as a part of the IGA, their area of responsibility will expand. Ours decreases slightly, but then we would continue to maintain that area known as J.D. Caton Park. Happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Councilmember Kondo.
Thank you, Director Peterson. Question, I'm just curious. I think as I was reading through this, it looked like that the city is still responsible for covering the irrigation of that area. I wonder if you can...
So the irrigation is actually on school district property, and the irrigation clocks and irrigation system belong to the school district, but we assist with maintenance of that system on the J.D. Caton portion.
Okay. So in other words, if they are using water to maintain greenery or what have you, it's on their cost.
Yes, it is.
And I hate to ambush you with this question, or maybe this can be done in follow-up, but I'm just wondering, are the school districts or our singular school district, are they also following our water restriction policy, or perhaps maybe our deputy city manager?
I would presume so. I haven't gotten confirmation from them of that.
Yes, the school district is following the exact same rules as
Okay,
all of
gotcha.
our other businesses and ourselves as the city.
Check. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. I do not see any other questions, so we're good there. Please open the vote.
Vote is open.
Please vote.
I'll close that vote, and the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. And the last resolution we have tonight is CR 82. Will the clerk please read the title?
A resolution approving a professional services agreement between the City of Northglenn and Musco Sports Lighting, LLC for the installation of lighting at Alvin B. Thomas Park.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Thank you. Great. What do you have for
The
us?
final request for tonight, we are seeking approval of a contract with Musco Lighting in the amount of $88,000 with a 15% contingency for the installation of lighting specifically at the basketball court at Alvin B. Thomas Park. This is part of a larger project. You'll see some other contracts come forward here a little later this summer for replacement of the playground, pedestrian level lighting, as well as other site amenities. This project is also funded in part with a grant from Adams County Open Space.
I do not see any questions. Doesn't look like we have any, so thank you for that. Lighting is important, safety, SEPTED, all the things. So it's always exciting to get lighting, even though it doesn't sound very exciting, but it's a great thing. So appreciate all the work you do.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, it looks like we just have a hand up. Councilmember Leidy.
Sorry, thank you. It's just a quick comment because this is in my ward, so I just want to thank you so much for doing this because I've also had a lot of questions about this recently, and I was like, I will find out. And then you magically just handed this to me, so thank you so much. Now I can refer to this meeting and let people know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you. Please open the vote.
Vote is open.
Please vote.
I'll close that vote and the motion passes unanimously.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. We have one discussion item, and we have Deputy City Manager Loveland, who will present the budget calendar to council. Important stuff.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. I am presenting a draft calendar for the 2027 budget. As we typically do, we present this kind of as the guiding framework for how we will proceed with the preparation and planning of the document. In the attachment, you'll see key dates where staff will be presenting to council and the key highlighted in yellow. So on August 3rd, August 17th, and then more formal presentations, September 21st, we'll present the proposed budget. October 12th, the public hearing, and then bring forward for adoption on October 26th. Happy to answer any questions if you have those. But, we'll kick this off tomorrow, officially with the department directors. We've been working on it for a while now, but more formally kick that off for the next couple of weeks with staff before we bring the proposed budget to council. Happy to answer any questions. This is typically just kind of a standard part and procedure of the process, so I don't expect to have too many questions.
And I think you are correct. I do not see any hands up, but I would just like to say, wait, somebody has, I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Look, I just didn't see these. Councilmember Severs, sorry about that. You guys were faster than I could speak, apparently.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. Just checking, I'm assuming this is very much like every other year, this kind of layout. And I know when we were at the touring the water treatment plant, they talked about how they've pretty much already done their budget. It's already been submitted to Sarah, and it's already working its way to you guys. So, excuse me, getting crazy over here. Basically just checking, it's similar to most years, and nothing really stands out as being unique or interesting in terms of the timing for you guys?
You are correct. Yeah.
Like it. But
Councilmember Goff.
Thank you. And here, I'm going to contradict. I thought in past years it's been later in the year, or maybe there was one year I'm remembering where this whole process was pushed later. And whether that's true or not, I'm just, the I don't know, question or concern I'm raising is that we're so early into this fiscal year that, you know, like what's the process if all of a sudden the city gets all kinds of extra revenue and we want to change things?
I like your thought there, the extra revenue. So that's amazing vibes right there. So this is a working document. So if for some reason we're going through the process and we identify something that, hey, October 26th seems early to approve, state statute just requires, and our charter, that we have something adopted by the end of the fiscal year, or end of the calendar year, so December 31st. So we do have an opportunity to extend the approval piece of the puzzle if we need to.
Well, thank you. That must be what I'm thinking of, because I thought I remembered that at least one time we did get pretty close to that end of the year before we finalized it. But that's good. Good to know. So we'll just all keep that in mind and think positive thoughts.
I like your thinking, Councilmember Groff. Okay, let's see. I did see another hand up, but it looks like it's down. Just want to make sure that I don't miss anybody's hands. I do not see any other hands, but I do have a question. So I know there was some discussion in terms of having a more detailed budget process. And so I just want to make sure, I mean, I'm sure staff does that anyway. They already have it, but to make sure that we have enough time to kind of digest that beforehand, I think will be important, especially if we're getting more information. So are those full study sessions dedicated to the budget at that point? I know that's really looking far in advance, and I apologize, I don't have the future agendas in front of me.
No, typically the August 3rd day and 17th day are budget specific. And then our goal is on July 20th to have everything packaged together to distribute to council, so you have extra time, not just kind of the few days before the 3rd. So that's our target, just because this is a large document with a lot of details. And so especially this year, providing a little bit more line item detail, our plan will be to get that to you sooner rather than later.
That sounds great, and I know we really appreciate that and appreciate the Finance Committee bringing that to attention as well. Just want to make sure that we have that extra time. The way I'll speak for myself, the way my brain works, I'll need that extra time. So that sounds great, and I do not see any other hands. So thank you so much for that. Moving into public invited to be heard. This is an opportunity for public comment. Statements are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Comments must be related to an item previously addressed by council during the meeting. I know I don't see anyone here, but I'm still following protocol. Is there anyone in the audience? Chief, would you like to say something? Everybody's great. Okay, and I do not see anyone on the phone, so we're good there. Wonderful. Therefore, being no more further business, we are adjourned. Good night, everyone.